What is up, sister friend? Welcome to another episode of Heart to Heart with Coach Emily. I am now officially Emily Williams, no longer Emily Roughton. Y'all never knew how to pronounce my last name anyway. So now I am Emily Williams. Easy peasy. So easy. Emily Ann Williams, the whitest name you've ever heard in your entire life. Hello. I didn't record last week, so we skipped a week. But if you listen to the last episode I did, it was a very heartfelt message. Lots about being heart to heart, why I started this, and continuing to open up the floor for vulnerable conversations, for showing our truth and showing our hearts so that we can all become more connected and just more understanding of each other. As a female fitness entrepreneur, you are destined for more. You have a special gift. Everybody has something. Everyone has a purpose. I believe, I'm a Christian. I believe that God has given everyone a specific gift that they need to share with the world. Because when we shine our light, we are able to help other people shine theirs and just help making the world a bigger, better place. I became an entrepreneur and I've always wanted to make a really big impact in this world. I mean, I grew up reading fantasy books of the hero and the heroine going out and changing their world and fighting a big cause, making a huge impact. And it always stuck with me that I wanted to do that as well. And so just a reminder, that podcast, just like talking about you shining your light and stepping into who you are and understanding who you are energetically so that you can make the difference you want to make in this world. Because every female fitness entrepreneur that I meet, it all starts with like, it's more than fitness and nutrition. All of them, they say it's more than fitness and nutrition. Like that's the part of it. And that was me too. When I started Full Circle Coaching, I was like, this is level one. Like this is level one of you becoming the woman that you want to be. Fitness and nutrition is the first step, because once you start taking care of you, once you start accepting yourself and loving yourself, you start to dive deeper and deeper into that love and acceptance and start changing a lot of things about yourself and start pulling back the layers of conditioning and shadows that are kind of holding you back in this world. And so every female fitness entrepreneur that I meet, it's like, it's more than this. Like, I really want to do this. I want to do mindset. I want to do personal development. I want to blah, 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 blah. Like everyone has something. And that was me too. And that's kind of what led me to my energetic scheduling and energetic work that I do now in Full Circle Coaching. I do still offer fitness coaching. If you guys didn't know, I have 3 spots left currently on my roster. I'm just doing a small roster, mostly fitness coaches who just need that extra accountability and need that support on their nutrition and fitness journey. Can't seem to, get it all together and struggling to kind of like make it work. So that is still available to you guys as well. But in the vein of heart to heart and finding your truth and finding who you are and pulling back those layers, I want to talk about using your voice, because I did a poll and you guys talked about you wanted help with self-sabotage, all or nothing mindset. You wanted help with all of these, things that our fitness clients even struggle with, right? And we just struggle with it in a whole different lane, but it's still the same problem. And just like your fitness clients, right? We've all had that client where it's like she's just terrified to like say what's on her mind, or she's used to just being a yes woman and not speaking her truth and saying what she needs to say. And finding our voice and speaking our voice, I think, is really hard for a lot of women. In human design, you do have a throat center and you have an undefined or defined throat center. Even if you have a defined throat center usually means you have really good capabilities of communication and don't struggle with that as much as someone who has an undefined throat, who can really struggle with communication and voicing their truth and voicing their needs. Both women, whether you have a defined or undefined throat, a lot of the times what happens is you've just been conditioned to kind of like shove it down, don't say anything, don't stir in the pot, it's probably not true, kind of gaslight yourself a little bit. I have an undefined throat, and I have always known that I've struggled with voicing what I want to say. I've always struggled with it. And the reason I know now when I look back is because I would get like my throat would tense when I would want to say something that I knew would probably be uncomfortable, or maybe would stir the pot, or, whatever the phrase is, like cause waves. And it has taken till now, I'm 31 years old and I'm still perfecting this, but it has taken a long time to really voice what I need to voice. And as women, one, I've recommended this book before, recommend it again. It's Breaking the Good Girl Myth by Maho Malfina. So good. Can't recommend it enough. There's meditations, amazing. She talks about this a lot more eloquently than I will probably talk about it, but we are conditioned to not say everything, right? Don't be loud. Don't have too many opinions. Don't, not your place, or you could hurt someone's feelings, or you may come off as bitchy. And like, these are all things that I dealt with for a very long time. And I also believe for a long time that people only thought I was nice, not saying I'm mean, but like, because I didn't say my truth. I didn't actually say what I was thinking and feeling. And so you kind of fall into that nice category. And I would build a lot of bitterness or resentment or anger, and it would come out in these like explosions. I wasn't like a super angry person, but my explosions are like crying. I'm a crier. If you don't know that about me, I cry about all the things. So when you're finding your voice, the first thing I'm going to encourage you to do is start paying attention to that feeling. So some people it's in their chest, some people it's in their gut. For me, it was literally like in my throat. And it wouldn't even be that I would be about to cry. Like, I think we all know that feeling when you're about to cry, but you're holding it in and it feels like you have a sore throat because you're holding in, you're crying. It felt like that even when I like wanted to say like, hey, that really hurt my feelings, or I'm feeling really overwhelmed, or I felt like I couldn't say anything, that I had to constantly be in like homeostasis and I had to constantly be in like a neutral place for other people. And as a female fitness entrepreneur, your specific story, your specific voice is crucial to the impact that you want to make. It is crucial for you to make a difference through using your voice. You have great things to say. You have experiences and challenges that you have overcame that people need to hear about. If we are living in fear that we can't say what we want to say, then we're holding back the impact that we could be making on somebody else. And so one thing that really helped me, just making sure my microphone is working, is just getting it out. It didn't have to be perfect. It didn't have to actually make any sense. I just needed to say something. And honestly, I can give a lot of credit to Austin for this, because saying my feelings and like what's bothering me is one of my I really struggle with that, guys. Like, I do not like to tell people how I'm feeling. I always say, I'll figure it out. I got to think about it. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if I'm actually feeling that. Like, it's really hard for me to decipher my feelings. For me personally, like my human design chart, all of my centers are open instead of my mental and my mind and my ajna. So it makes sense that I struggle to process my feelings, because a lot of times they're not my own feelings that I'm holding on to. That's a story for a different day. But that being said, Austin be like, just say anything. Just say what comes to mind. And as I start talking and talking and talking, and he's listening, it starts to get closer and closer to the point that I'm trying to make. I'm feeling frustrated because of this, and then it winds on down to, I'm just not feeling as appreciated as I would like to, or whatever the case may be. And so for you, in your personal development journey as an entrepreneur, this is really important, because I don't like to use that word. You want to be able to express yourself clearly and in a way that makes sense to you, right? First, so that you can then dilute it down and figure out the root and say like, okay, or distill it down is the word I'm looking for. Distill it down, find the root, so that you can then use that to connect to your clients, because they feel the same things too about a lot of things. And so when you get super clear on that, you are able to make a really big difference, and you are able to understand your energy and what you're feeling, so that you can make better decisions and you can make the impact that you want to make. And so as you start continuing to dive into using your voice and figuring out what that looks like for you, I would really start with awareness, because a lot of times we don't really know our struggles, right? Just like your clients, they don't realize their hunger cues, or they don't realize that this is obviously a trigger, or they're just like not mindful during their workouts and they're wondering why they're not getting stronger, right? Same thing for you. You are not being mindful of your emotions in your body and how they're manifesting in your body and showing like, hey, there's a blockage here of some sort. And the more you can start to become aware of that, the more you can make changes. So I know, like, as soon as I get that feeling, I still get that feeling, but now I'm able to say, okay, why am I feeling this way? And then I'll tell Austin or whoever, I am feeling some type of way, but I'm scared to say it because I don't want to hurt your feelings, or I don't want to cause waves, or whatever the case may be, right? Now I know the reason why I'm feeling scared or nervous to voice myself. And then I use that and say, okay, I just need a moment to kind of like process. And then I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to say this, and I just go for it. Right. And you can start doing this too. Your voice is crucial. Your voice is important. Your voice matters. And I can get really deep here for a second. Like, as women, we have had our voices made small for a really long time. And there may be people in your life that continue to make your voice made small, and you may have some, trauma around that. And so this is the beginnings of you breaking from that trauma and understanding it. One of the things that also really helped me was going to therapy. Talk therapy was great because I could ramble and ramble and ramble. And then she would voice back to me like what she heard. And I'd be like, yeah, that's exactly how I feel. It was really helpful. Talk therapy, great. Obviously, somatic therapy, amazing. But the two together, it's kind of like an evolution. Talk therapy really helps. But I also started with journaling to understand my voice and like what I'm feeling, what's going on. I have a lot of thoughts all the time, which I'm sure you do as well. And this is part of your voice and part of you processing things and trying to get them out. And so when we can start understanding our own emotions, understanding our own thoughts, and be able to voice them clearly, you can start to talk about bigger things, talk about things that you really care about, and talk about them in a confident way because you now understand your voice. If you told me, Emily, when I was like 16, that I would have a podcast, she would be like, that's impossible. Because I'm telling you right now, guys, I did not speak in high school. You can ask my friends, Loria and Laurel, they will tell you I did not talk. I didn't talk. Like, people would literally ask me, like, why aren't you talking? Embarrassing story moment, if you'd love to hear it. We were reading Scarlet Letter in AP Literature, and part of the project was you had to pick your own Scarlet Letter. Me being me, I don't know why I do this to myself. I like to torture myself, I think. I just always knew I was destined for more. So I would force myself to do really uncomfortable things. And I knew that I was really quiet, and I didn't understand why, but I wanted it to stop. So I made my Scarlet Letter a Q for quiet. And people would ask, like, why'd you pick a Q? And I was like, because I'm really quiet and really shy, and I really want to overcome that. And sidebar, the reason I was really quiet, really shy, I had a lot of trauma and social anxiety, and public school was not right for me, but I digress. So Q was my letter. And really embarrassing part of this story is not the part that I just called myself out and let the whole school know that, like, I am quiet and I want to stop being quiet, which was like also very vulnerable for me. I don't know why I did. No, I do these things. I was in journalism, and my journalism teacher asked about my Q Scarlet Letter, and I told him, and he made me stand up on my desk in front of everyone and talk loudly, like read something. I can't remember. I blacked out, I think. And I was so red, but I was also a high achiever. So I would do anything to get a good grade in school, and I had to be the best. So I'm sure that's why I was like, okay, like, if this is what he wants me to do, I'm going to do it. It was so embarrassing. And it was, anyways, it was a moment in time that helped me grow. Obviously, I've come a long way, but it starts somewhere. You got to start somewhere, and you can't be scared of saying the things you want to say. You just got to get them out, and you're going to get better at saying them over time. So really today, This is like your permission, your green light, and some tips to start working on using your voice. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just got to get it out and pick a safe person to do it with, and you'll get better and better, and then you'll be able to do it more and more. So just something to start thinking about. The other thing I wanted to mention to you guys is Black Friday. My Black Friday deals are coming out. So I'm offering 15% off my 3-session mini pack, as well as my 5-session mini pack. So those include the one-on-one energetic scheduling audit, 3 or 5 1-hour one-on-one calls to adjust your energetic schedule, to, make adjustments, walk through what you're dealing with so that we can continue to edit the schedule to bring out your perfect, optimal custom energetic schedule. I'm also offering a single session of energetic scheduling. So the 3 and 5 sessions offer like multiple draft edits. The single session, we will do the audit. We'll talk through, your energetic type, and then we'll create the custom schedule for you. That one does not have an edit. So just pay attention to that if you want the single session just as a one time. So this is for my ladies that are like, I feel pretty confident in my schedule, but I would love for it to be more tailored to my energetic type. And so we can do that. And then I'm also going to be offering, I have a super special, I've barely announced it. This is like, I guess, a little teaser, my mini course. So I'm offering an energetic scheduling mini course. The mini course is going to be basically self-paced, self-taught energetic scheduling based on your energy type. So it's going to have all the energy types on there, teach you how to create a better, a more optimal energetic schedule. And then you can create your custom energetic schedule yourself. That's going to be a $500 value, but I'm going to be offering it for Black Friday for $47. So please stay tuned for that. If you are interested, let me know and I can send you over the links. If you have any questions, you can always message me on Instagram at EmmyFit. Thank you guys so much for listening. It truly means the world. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will talk to you soon.